Join me as I dive into my 74 years of life experience to uncover the secret to happiness. Can I finally figure it out? Before we begin, drop a comment telling me which city you're watching from. I love knowing where everyone's tuning in from. Now, let me tell you something I learned after 74 years of living, loving, and learning. It took me a lifetime to discover the real secret to happiness. Not the kind you read about in self-help books or see in motivational videos, but the kind that hits deep, the kind that changes how you see everything around you. So, here's the question I want you to think about as you listen. What if everything you believed about happiness was wrong? What if chasing after success, money, or even love wasn't the real key to living a happy life? Stick with me till the end, because by the time we're done, you might just start seeing happiness in a whole new light. Let's rewind the clock a bit. Picture this: a young person full of dreams, running after everything society said would lead to happiness: career, status, recognition, comfort. I was that person. I thought happiness meant achieving more, buying more, being more. But with every milestone I hit, there was this quiet emptiness that never really went away. You know that feeling? That little voice that says, "Is this it? Is this all there is?" Yeah, that was me for decades. I used to think that once I had a big house, a nice car, and a bank account that looked impressive, I'd finally be happy. But here's what life taught me. Happiness isn't a finish line. It's a moment. It's that quiet morning coffee while the world's still asleep. It's laughing with a friend until your stomach hurts. It's holding someone's hand and realizing that no amount of money could buy that feeling. You see, I spent a big chunk of my life chasing after what I thought was happiness, only to realize I was actually chasing validation. I wanted people to say, "Wow, you made it." But here's the catch. Every time I got what I wanted, the satisfaction faded faster than I expected. It's like trying to fill a bottomless cup. No matter how much you pour in, it never feels full. And that's when life started teaching me, in its own not-so-gentle way, that happiness isn't about having everything. It's about appreciating what you already have. Sounds simple, right? But man, it took me 74 years to truly get it. Because let's be honest, gratitude is easy to talk about but hard to practice, especially in a world that keeps telling us we're not enough until we buy one more thing, achieve one more goal, or reach one more milestone. Let me pause for a second, because I want you to think about your own life. When was the last time you felt genuinely happy without needing a reason? Was it when you bought something new? Or was it a random moment, like when someone made you laugh or when you saw a sunset that stopped you in your tracks? If you really think about it, those little moments are where the real magic happens. Now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing bad about ambition, working hard, setting goals, and achieving things. That's part of what makes life exciting, but the problem comes when we let those things define our worth. I learned the hard way that happiness doesn't live in the future. It lives right now, in the present moment you're in. Let me share a story that changed my perspective forever. Years ago, I met a man at a hospital. He was older than me, frail, and barely had any possessions. But he had this calm smile that never faded. I asked him, "How do you stay so happy, even with everything you're going through?" And he said something I'll never forget. He said, "Son, happiness isn't about what you have. It's about what you choose to notice." That one line stuck with me for decades, because he was right. Happiness is a choice we make every single day. It's not always easy, but it's always available. When you start noticing the little things, the laughter, the peace, the love that surrounds you. You realize happiness was never lost. It was just waiting for you to pay attention. And let's be real. Life doesn't go easy on anyone. We all face pain, heartbreak, disappointment. There were times I felt broken, times I questioned my purpose, times I thought happiness was something I'd never feel again. But every time life somehow found a way to remind me that even in pain, there's beauty. Even in loss, there's growth. Even in endings, there's a beginning. Here's the wild part. It wasn't the good times that taught me the most about happiness. It was the hard times, the heartbreaks, the failures, the moments when I felt like everything was falling apart. Because it's in those moments you realize what truly matters. You learn that happiness isn't the absence of problems. It's the ability to stay peaceful and grateful, even when things don't go your way. Let's take a quick breather. If you're still here, it means this story's resonating with you. So hit that like button. It really helps. And let me know in the comments what happiness means to you. I read every comment, and I'd love to hear your story too. Now, back to the lesson it took me 74 years to learn. Happiness doesn't come from what you get. It comes from what you give. I know, it sounds cliché, but it's true. The happiest moments of my life weren't when I got a promotion or bought something new. They were when I helped someone, made someone smile, or showed kindness without expecting anything back. Because when you give joy, you feel joy. There's a reason why people who volunteer or spend time helping others often say they feel more fulfilled. It's because happiness multiplies when you share it. You don't lose it by giving it away. You create more of it. And if there's one thing I've realized after all these years, it's that happiness isn't complicated. We just make it complicated. We overthink it, we chase it, we attach conditions to it. But happiness doesn't need conditions. You don't have to wait until you're successful, rich, or loved to feel it. You can choose it now, even in the middle of the mess. Here's another truth I wish I'd known earlier. Happiness doesn't mean you're always smiling. It means you've learned to stay calm, grateful, and hopeful, no matter what's happening around you. Some days will be hard, no doubt. But if you can find one small thing to be thankful for, even on your worst days, you're already winning. Let me share a personal confession. There was a time when I thought my happiest days were behind me. Friends had passed, my career had ended, and I felt like life had already given me all it had to offer. But I was wrong. Happiness didn't leave. It just changed form. It showed up in smaller ways. In a quiet walk, in a good book, in a phone call from someone who remembered me. That's the beauty of growing older. You stop chasing noise and start appreciating peace. You stop seeking more and start cherishing enough. That's when you realize happiness was never out there. It was always within you, waiting to be noticed. If you've ever wondered what the true secret to happiness is, here it is. It's gratitude, pure and simple. When you start focusing on what you have instead of what you lack, everything changes. Your mood, your relationships, your energy. It all shifts. Gratitude turns ordinary moments into blessings, and that's the real secret. So, let's wrap this up with a little challenge. Today, before you go to bed, name 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big. Maybe it's your morning coffee, a funny text from a friend, or the roof over your head. Just 3 things. Do that every day for a week, and watch how your perspective starts to shift. That's how you start building lasting happiness. One small moment of gratitude at a time. I want to leave you with this thought. Life is short. But happiness doesn't have to be rare. Don't wait for the perfect moment to be happy. Happiness isn't a destination. It's the road you travel every single day. The people you love, the laughter you share, the peace you create within yourself. That's what happiness truly is. If this story resonated with you, give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might need a little reminder today. And don't forget to subscribe for more heartfelt stories and life lessons like this one. Remember, happiness isn't found. It's made, one grateful thought at a time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay kind, stay grateful, and most of all, stay happy.